name is Rachelle Green. This is our week 2 lab for histology in anatomy and physiology. Today is March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, 2019. And I'm going to give you a rundown about the 4 different types of tissue that we have in the human body. So first of all, we have epithelial tissue. And basically it's like a big sheet of cells that covers the surfaces of our body that are exposed to the outside, and then the linings of our organs inside of our body. It's on the outside of the organs. Epithelial cells can also be found in certain glands, like the thyroid, and also in many places in the body, including the skin, respiratory tract, intestine, our vessels, the reproductive tracts, and I already mentioned the thyroid gland. There are several types of epithelia, and they are classified as ciliated, exchange, protective, transporting, secretory, and secretory. And those are classified according to their function, how they function. So they are also classified and broken down into the way they look, such as cuboidal or columnar, for example. So then we have connective tissue, and it's pretty basically named for what it does. It connects things in our body together, such as tissues and organs, ligaments, bones, things like that. So there are 2 types of connective tissue. There's loose connective tissue, and there is dense connective tissue. The loose connective tissue is found under our skin and in small glands. So it's like the fatty tissue under the skin, and the cells are loosely organized, so they look like there's a lot of space between them when you look at them under a microscope, and they cushion and protect our organs. So dense connective tissue, their cells are more tightly arranged, they look closer together, and in a muscle this creates more tension, and that helps when you are flexing or tensing a muscle. So these cells make up our bones, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and they cover muscles and nerves as well. And then included in the connective tissue is blood and lymph. They are a type of fluid connective tissue. Then we move down to muscle tissue. Muscle tissue responds to stimulation and is excitable and can contract, and it provides movement that way. So there are 3 types. So we have our skeletal muscle, which is attached to our bones and makes it possible to walk, to sit up, to smile. Oh, and I found it interesting that it makes up 40% of our body's mass. So a lot of us, some of us may just be big boned. You never know. Cardiac muscle is the next one. Obviously it's found in the heart. And it responds to stimulation, but it's an internal stimulation. It's not a voluntary stimulation like the skeletal muscle. And then we have smooth muscle, which the tissue does contract, but it's in response to involuntary movements in the internal organs. So it's found in the digestive, urinary, respiratory systems, and in the airways and arteries. So that is our muscle tissue. And then lastly, we have the nervous tissue. There wasn't a whole lot of time spent on the nervous tissue in the book or the lab, so it's the one I understand the least. However, it is excitable, and it sends electrochemical messages that provide the body with information. So like our brain telling our hand to move, so it sends signals to do that. The cells in the nervous system are neurons and neuroglia, also known as glial cells. Neurons send information by electrochemical impulses, which release chemical signals to the body. Like I said, the brain telling the fingers to move sends a message down through the neurons. Neuralgia, like I said, or glial cells. They act as like a supportive system to the neurons, and they coat the neurons, and it just says it provides a biochemical support. So 4 different kinds of tissue that we have, and they all work together to make the human body function. Thank you so much.